Good afternoon, Lefties fans. The Port Angeles Lefties take the field for the last time this summer as they do battle with the Bellingham Bells. Rubber match of this series. Lefties were blown out game one a couple nights ago, able to rebound, defeat the Bells 8-4, aided by a huge hit from Roberto Nunez driving in three, as well as, well, the Bells walked the world last night, essentially, and we'll gladly take it. I'm Evan Schmeiser, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a complete pleasure bringing you the action from Civic Field all summer long. We get to do it one last time. It really has gone quickly. I'm going to miss it up here. I really am. I'm going to miss looking at the foothills of Olympic National Park. Colby Schuber is on the mound this afternoon. We'll take a look at the Bells lineup. Dean West moves up. He'll be the leadoff man. Riley Parker will bat second. Andrew Valdez will be the third man. Daryl Ruiz came in late as a pinch hitter as a defense replacement yesterday. He'll bat cleanup. Colton Bauer will be the designated hitter. Cole Yoshida hits sixth. Max Hartman's the seventh man. Nate Kirkpatrick hits eighth. Garner Christensen behind the plate. As the first pitch is up and inside, 1:39 Pacific Standard Time. And an even 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast skies. And a check swing foul ball right off the chest protector of Julio Vasquez behind the plate. Julio doing the catching today. First time he's caught all summer. He is a catcher at Howard. He caught 30 games this past spring over there. That's a good way to greet him. Julio and Dean West, the hitter, had a good laugh about that. Julio's all right. Schuber out of the windup. He deals the 1-1, and that one misses outside. Colby has been awesome. Can't really think of many other ways to put it. 2.53 ERA over 42 2/3 innings as he falls behind 3-1 as that one misses outside. Not a big strikeout guy, only 28. He keeps the walks down at 14. Just really one of the premier pitchers in the West Coast League. Well, maybe not for that at bat. As he plunks Dean West on the 3-1 count. So that'll bring up Riley Parker. Schuber, the 5'11" rising sophomore to Salem University. 195 pounds out of Aberdeen, Washington. Relatively local guy. So Parker, the one-time lefty, will be the hitter. The lefties will look to turn two. First time we're seeing Schuber out of the stretch. A throw over not in time. West can fly. He stole 3 bases yesterday, all in the 5th inning, including a steal of home off of Reed Rasmussen. First pitch popped up foul into the overhanging screen. Parker out of Snohomish, Washington. Hitting .229 this season. No home runs, 11 RBIs. Breaking ball just high. There's been a tight strike zone the entire series. Parker was 1 for 3 with a double and a couple RBIs yesterday. He also walked twice. Did not play on Friday night's game. The 1-1 is rolled slowly foul towards the Bells dugout. Nice play by somebody over there. Picking the short hop. He had his glove on. And everybody, you can expect me a little bit later on to call the game at least periodically in the crowd. The 1-2 breaking ball, that one's popped up. Right side of the infield, Aiden Arriaga comes jogging in, and he makes the play.
Up to that, number 1.
One out in the first, it brings up Andrew Valdez. Valdez, once again, well, he's getting to start as the left fielder today. As he settles his way into the right-handed batter's box. The senior out of Fresno Pacific University, hitting .326, 4 home runs, 29 RBIs, and he takes a breaking ball at the knees. Valdez has won a good bat this series. 4 for 9. Including 4 RBIs a couple nights ago. High bouncer to the hole on the left side. Up with his walls. He has one play to first in time. Good play by Isaiah. Going deep into the hole at shortstop. Up to second goes Dean West. 2 away to open the ball game. And that'll bring up Daryl Ruiz. Ruiz did not get the start yesterday. Eventually came off the bench. And at least for now, we haven't seen Cody Anderson of the Bells call timeout and put in a sub after one pitch. So hopefully all that playoff eligibility stuff is taken care of. Makes things much more confusing. First pitch on the outside corner to Darryl. He was hit by a pitch his only appearance yesterday. Eventually came around to score. 1 for 7 a couple nights ago. He has an RBI chance. A base hit will score West because he can fly. Wall's trying to keep him close. Fouled straight back. Schubert able to work ahead 0-2. Schubert way ahead. The second baseman, Arriaga, playing relatively deep. Nunez also with the start at third. So a couple of different lefties moved around. Colby comes set. And here is the 0-2. That breaking ball is rolled slowly over the first. Helm up with it. He's got a race to the bag. He will win the race. That'll retire the side in the first inning. No runs, no hits, and a man left for Colby. Another good first inning for him. The lefties will take their first swings when we come back. Corey Gerald to get us started. So the lefties ready to do battle. Will Anderson will get the start for the Bells. No, this is not the Will Anderson who was drafted third overall out of Alabama by the Houston Texans, the linebacker there. I have no information on Will. There's nothing on his point streak, and frankly, there's a lot of Will Andersons out there, so can't necessarily Google him. He's a left-hander, somewhat tall and lanky, I suppose. Good head of hair, though. Definitely a good head of hair. He lost his hat on that warm-up. We'll take a look at the lefties lineup. Corey Gerald, that leadoff today. Aiden Arriaga, a now familiar spot in the second part of the order. Roberto Nunez, trying to emerge at the end of this season as the hits leader. Will hit third. Trent Jackson bats cleanup. Isaiah Walls will be the fifth man tonight. Brock Mayer's the designated hitter. Julio Vasquez bats seventh behind the plate. Travis Helm will be the eighth hitter. Chance Dowdy gets the start on the final day of the season, hitting ninth. Overcast sky, the mountains of Olympic National Park still in view. Gerald swings the first pitch and fouls it back. The lefties going with the pinstripes on closing day. The Bells with the blue tops with basically the white streak across the chest showing the wording Bellingham, also across the arms with the white line streak. Breaking ball is low. And the gray bottoms with the blue inseam. Lefty on lefty matchup. Gerald trying to get us started. Ooh, Anderson gets the strike call on that. Colby didn't in the last inning. Light breeze going right to left. The leaves going with the wind too. Here's the 1-2 from Anderson. That one's up and away. He lost his hat. It's never fun when you're a pitcher and you're losing your hat constantly. I've had teammates who have had that. I never wore my hair extremely long, so I never had that issue. The 2-2 out of the windup. That curveball's off the end of that fouled back. Anderson also setting up on the far third base side of the rubber. So he has his left turning foot along the rubber and his right foot way off of it. So he's really falling off towards third. High bouncer back to the middle. Over is Parker. He flags it down on the second base side. Not in time to get Jarrell, who is hustling up the line. An infield hit for Corey to start the first inning, and that'll bring up Aiden Arriaga. Arriaga hitting .234, 0 for 3 with an RBI and a couple walks yesterday. A couple extra base hits, 1 RBI. He swung a good bat for the better part of a week and a half. The Bells set up to turn 2. Gerald does run well as he inches off of first. The first pitch on the outside corner. What's different sky we're seeing today? Almost a white sky. But I'm not really seeing clouds. Must be some different kind of reflection. The 0-1. Late on the fastball. Arriaga behind 0-2. The third baseman, Nate Kirkpatrick, still playing even with the bag. Even with 2 strikes. Corey with a shorter lead at first now. And a long looking from Anderson. Now he comes set. Still on the far third base side. And here's the 0-2. Off the hands, back towards second base. Backhanded by Yoshida. He takes it himself to second and back over to first. That turned into an easy 4-3 double play.
Up to bat, number 21. Your third
So nobody on base. It brings up Roberto Nunez.
Roberto Nunez, the third.
A rising sophomore out of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. If he's not drafted into Major League Baseball next year, a good chance he'll be a future fighter pilot. First pitch he takes for a strike on the inner half. Anderson loses the hat. This is going to be an issue throughout the day. Grant, you wonder how long will go. Past 2 nights, the Bell Stars have only gone 1 inning. Hit hard, back towards the middle. Diving stop Yoshida. Has to hurry to throw just in time to get Nunez. So Will Anderson faces the minimum in his half of the first inning. We head to the top of the second at Civic Field in a scoreless ball game. This second inning is brought to you by Leets. Leets Farm Supply and Equipment Sales is the Peninsula's premier family-owned farm supply and equipment dealership, where we service what we sell. Shop local, support local, shop Leets Farm Supply. 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Bells. Colton Bauer, Cole Yoshida, and Max Hartman.
Up to bat for the Bells, number 20, Colton Bauer.
Bauer hitting 176 overall. He did not play last night, 2 for 3 behind the plate a couple nights ago, and he takes a breaking ball outside. That's a called strike. 1-1 the count. Oh, it's interesting to see. Colby now on the far first base side of the rubber. That breaking ball's in there for a called strike, too. Interesting. You really notice the contrast, especially with how far Anderson of the Bells was standing by third. The 1-2 pitch in this scoreless game. That one's hit hard at the left field. Chance Dowdy goes back on it. He leaps up and is able to make the grab. Ball didn't carry quite as much as I thought it would. Chance did a really nice job to hang with it. As Cole Yoshida will dig into the box, we'll take a look at the lefties defensively. Roberto Garza Nunez manning the hot corner today. Isaiah Walls at short. Aiden Arriaga is the second baseman. Travis Helm at first. Julio Vasquez starting behind the plate. as the first pitch curveball stays high. Chance Dowdy's playing left, Corey Gerald patrolling center, and Trent Jackson, Mr. Aquaman, his familiar spot in right. And the 1-0 is off the hands, fouled straight back. Already, several foul balls going, well, to the screen. We do have the 4 baseballs sitting on the overhanging net. So that one misses just low. Now Dowdy playing a little bit deeper in left field. That one's hit out to center. It's not deep. Corey Gerald started it. Now he creeps back, and he makes the grab.
What a catch, Corey.
Couple fly ball outs, and it brings up Max Hartman.
Up to bat, number 10, Max Hartman.
Hartman hitting 197. He's had a good series. He's 4 for 8 this weekend against the lefties. Right on left, the matchup. Off the end of that, popped up. Short center field, Gerald comes running in. He has it lined up, and he puts it away. A quick, and I mean quick, 1-2-3 inning for Colby Schuber. We'll head to the bottom of the second at Civic Field. No score early. Well, so a slight first, at least for this series, you guys. Will Anderson back out to work the second inning. First time in these 3 games during the weekend that the Bell's starting pitcher has gone more than an inning. Anderson will face the heart of the order, Trent Jackson, Isaiah Walls, and Brock Mayer. Still no score in the bottom of the second. Jackson, the rising junior out of Hawaii Hilo University, takes a breaking ball on the inside corner. Lefty on lefty matchup. Trent 0 for 5 yesterday. Out in front of a breaking ball is behind 0-2. 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, hitting .257 on the summer. The 0-2. Check swing, and Jackson does go around. So Trent goes down on 3 pitches to start the second. First strikeout of the afternoon for Anderson.
26, your shortstop, Corey Irvine, Isaiah Walls.
Now it's Isaiah Walls. At least in the early going, both pitchers look to be settling in pretty well. Walls out in front of a breaking ball, or excuse me, a changeup. A good one at that. Walks, free passes, major story. Check swing out to left field. Coming on is Valdez, and he puts it away. Thought for just a second that Walls was going to get away with that one. But 2 away, it brings up Brock Mayer. Let's look at the Bells defensively. Nate Kirkpatrick is over at third. Riley Parker playing shortstop. Cole Yoshida is at second base. Darryl Ruiz gets the start at first. Garner Christensen, first time we've seen him this series, is behind the plate. Andrew Valdez in left. Dean West is playing center. Max Hartman, the right fielder. And, of course, Will Anderson working his second inning on the mound. Mayer takes in the dirt. Yeah, as far as those free passes, Bell's pitching walked and hit a combined 11 lefty hitters yesterday. As Mayer thought about it, takes a strike on the other half. 7 of those free passes came in the 6th inning alone, where the lefty scored 4 times without a hit. And that was the difference. Off the end of that, slowly on the ground to short. Riley Parker gloves it, throws on the run in time to get Mayer. 1-2-3 go the lefties in their half of the second. Sailing along to the top of the third. Nate Kirkpatrick, Garner Christian, then the leadoff man West will be the hitters when we come back. Coming back on the early side for the top of the third inning. No score between the Bells and the Lefties on the last day of the season. The Dupuis restaurant is a staple that lies between Port Angeles and Sequim out to the east of town. The original founder, Joe Dupuis, grew up in New York and worked as a paper guy. Saw opportunities for work along the Olympic Peninsula, so he moved to Clallam County. Dupuis worked at the Washington Pulp and the paper mill there for a while. He first opened the restaurant in 1920. Classic American food, plenty of fresh seafood. Seafood is really good around here. Conscious work with local farmers and fishermen. I'm not a big seafood guy, but you really can't go wrong if you love seafood in general, especially the salmon here. Ownership passed through the family for a while, but each ownership group has seemingly made the effort to preserve the original culture. Tony Rieger is the current owner, and she's been running the show there since 1998. Nate Kirkpatrick, the 8th hitter to get us started. Schubert deals a fastball low. Colby at this point with that familiar windup, lifting his hands high above his head. Very old school motion. On the ground slowly. It's a fair ball to third. Nunez, long throw across in time. Nunez made that look pretty easy. Much tougher play than he made it look. With one away, it brings up Garner Christensen. Christensen once again getting the start behind the plate. The rising sophomore at San Joaquin Delta College. Couple extra base hits, 8 RBIs, hitting 159 this summer. He swings the first pitch and lifts it high to right center field. Jackson comes running in, and he'll give way to the center fielder, Gerald.
Let's get loud for that catch, Civic.
Boy, some very quick outs. 2 up, 2 down for the Bells. And we go back to the top of the order. It's Dean West. You want to keep him off base, as I mentioned earlier, with all that speed. He was hit by a pitch to start the ball game. The only base runner that Schubert has surrendered to this point. West takes all the way and takes a strike. And you pretty much had to. 2 outs on 3 pitches. And he gets the call at the knees right there. West not a fan. Colby ahead 0-2. Here is the pitch out of the windup. That one misses outside. Only took Colby 9 pitches to work a 1-2-3 second as that one's fouled back. Trying to work nearly an equally fast third inning. Here comes pitch number 8 of the inning. Oh, and a late timeout call. What's going on here? The pitch was right down the middle. Who called time? Was the umpire not ready? Or was Dean not ready? Here is the 1-2 now with 2 outs. That one's lifted in the air to left field. Dowdy started back. Now he comes jogging in. He's around it, and he makes the play. So after an 8-pitch second inning, a 9-pitch third inning for Colby Schubert. He's in cruise control early. Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. The Lefties looking for some offense as we're ready for the bottom of the third. No score at Civic Field. Julio Vasquez, Travis Helm, and Chance Dowdy will be the hitters. Will Anderson back out to work the third. Julio starting behind the plate for the first time this summer. He was greeted by a foul ball off his chest protector in the first batter of the game as he takes high. And he does catch for Howard, so he's not in too unfamiliar territory. Takes a strike, 1-1 the count for Vasquez. 0 for 5 in this series, hitting 175, no home runs, 6 RBIs this summer. Anderson working quickly, owns it sharply out to center field. Dean West surrounds it, and he makes the grab. So 1 away in the third, it'll bring up Travis Helm.
Number 40, your first baseman from Central.
Lefties getting one base runner. Anderson's faced the minimum up to this point. Helm with a nice round of applause. More people likely familiar with him going to Central Washington as he takes a fastball in the inside corner. Travis hitting 163, a couple doubles, 5 RBIs. Takes in the dirt. Well, we had a light breeze earlier in the game. Now the flagpole's quiet. Hardly moving a muscle. Anderson out of the windup. Well, Helm took a fastball right down the middle. I guess he wasn't looking for that pitch. He's behind 1-2. Anderson's ready to go. He has his sign and he deals. Breaking ball, and that gets Helm right in the back foot. A break right there. Will Anderson plunking Helm on a 1-2 count. Helm will take it. You can hear the thud from way up here. It was a loud one. He did get him on a breaking ball. So the ninth man for the Lefties, Chance Dowdy, will hit. He's hitting a $186, a home run, 5 RBIs. First pitch is way outside. Left on right, the matchup. Wonder how Travis is. I wonder how his foot's feeling right now as Dowdy takes outside again. Travis has stolen 1 base, and it came yesterday, part of a double steal against the Bells. Both teams really aggressive on the bases yesterday. Big rip and a miss from Dowdy. An aggressive 2-0 hack. Left fielder Andrew Valdez doing a practice swing of his own. The right fielder Hartman playing shallow. A 2-1, a little high. Anderson certainly wanted it. It was close. We'll take the ball. And time is called by Dowdy. Looked like he had some dirt in his eyes. Well, he's ready to go now. As Helm inches off of first. 3-1 the count, 1 away in the third, no score. Dowdy had a 2-run homer on his mind as he swings and misses. He'll have to shorten up now with the count full. Anderson has his sign. Here's the 3-2. Helm does not go, and Dowdy comes up empty. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Anderson. And we'll flip to the top of the order. Corey Jarrell will be the hitter. He singled to open the ball game. Lefties really haven't done anything offensively since that point. 1 hit for the Lefties, none so far for the Bells. First pitch to Jarrell. He swings the first pitch. Good play on the backhand by Daryl Ruiz, getting the short hop. He'll take it to the bag himself. The Lefties go quietly in their half of the third. No score at Civic Field. Colby Schuber to get back to work on the mound.
We have Marcus racing.
Welcome back for the top of the third inning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Evan Schmeiser. Riley Parker, Andrew Valdez, and Daryl Ruiz will be the hitters. Colby Schubert back to work on the mound. We've approached a good point in the ball game. I am currently walking outside of the press box, and I'm going to go join the fans. Once again, no score, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, guys. Hello. Hope everyone's enjoying the game. First pitch taken outside. Right on right, the matchup. Riley Parker popped out to second, his only at bat. And that one's outside. Pardon me, guys. Thank you. Hi, Lee. Hi, Sandy. Hi, everybody. Hi, Evan. Schubert out of the windup. Here comes the 2-0, and that misses inside 3-0. Griff's giving me the thumbs up. That's a good sign. Yep, comfortable sitting right by the lefties box. And that's in there for a strike. 3-1 to Parker. Schubert working quickly. That one's ripped out to left field. Dowdy going back on it. He's able to hang with it and make the grab.
What a catch.
Little too much topspin on that one. That brings up Andrew Valdez. He bounced out to shortstop, his only at bat.
Andrew Valdez.
The Bells still in search of their first hit. Pitchers duel early. Lefties with only one hit of their own. Dowdy playing fairly deep. He frankly has to. First pitch swinging fouled into the screen. A fan right in front of me has some really good-looking nachos. He says, yes, they are absolutely good. The 0-1 from Schubert, and that curveball is on the inside corner. And once again, you guys, I exited the press box to start the inning, said hello to some fans, including my one-time host family, Lee and Sandy Sinnis. That one's lined into the right center field alleyway. Gerald over to get it. It's going to go to the wall. Valdez already pulling in the second. He'll hold up there with a one-out double.
Up to bat, number 16, Daryl Ruiz.
So the first hit of the afternoon for Bellingham. And now it's Daryl Ruiz. Daryl Ruiz bounced out to the first baseman, Helm, his only at bat. Right on left the matchup. A long looking from Colby, having to deal with a man in scoring position. Still no score in the fourth. And the first pitch is up high. Good speed at second base from Valdez. The shortstop, Isaiah Walls, trying to keep him close. Schubert, a couple looks at the runner, and he deals. Popped up. Left side over is Nunez in foul territory, and he's able to make the grab. Griff still giving me the thumbs up, and that's well to do.
20, Colton Bauer.
This is really cool. This is a great opportunity, especially going down the road in future seasons. Just being out amongst the fans. Right now I'm just standing in the lefties box, right next to our press box. Might have seen me on the camera walking through the concourse. Slowly on the ground to the left side. Walls throws over the top of Nunez. It's way over the head of Helm, and that ball goes out of play. Valdez is going to be awarded home plate. And up to second will go Colton Bauer. We'll see how that one's scored. It's going to be an error on Walls to allow the run to score and for Bauer to move up to second. No RBI on the play. Question is whether it's going to be an infield single or not. So Bauer ends up trading spots with Valdez. 1-0 Bells with 2 outs in the fourth. And the first pitch is outside to Yoshida. Cole Yoshida flew out to center, his only at bat. That would have been a tough play for Walls no matter what. Nunez tried to dive from third to cut it off, couldn't do it. And Walls had to throw it and try and avoid spiking Roberto, who was laying on the ground after diving. Up high 2-0. First base is open with Max Hartman waiting on deck. The second baseman, Arriaga, keeping the runner close. Helm way off the bag at first. The 2-0 is swung on and fouled back. West tried to make the grab on the foul ball and the ricochet, not able to do it. 2-1 the count to Yoshida. Griff giving me another thumbs up. I appreciate that one. 2-1 as Schuber comes set. Checks the runner a couple times and he deals. Check swing, it's low. Colby tried something slower. So Valdez doubled with 1 out, and Bauer reached base. All right, so let me go check to see how that was scored. Here's the 3-1 from Colby as that misses low. So ball 4 to Yoshida, and that'll bring up Max Hartman.
Up to bat, number 10, Max Hartman.
Hartman flew out to center back in the second. So a couple men on the pond for Hartman. So I was able to confirm it's an error all the way on Walls, so no base hit. First pitch taken at the knees. So an error all the way to allow Colton Bauer to reach base. Bauer at second, Yoshida at first. And an 0-1 count to Hartman. Way out in front of a breaking ball, and a good one from Schuber. The fans definitely approved of that pitch. Colby trying to work out of the fourth. He's already allowed 1, an unearned run at the moment. The 0-2 is low. Looked like he might have tried a changeup. The breeze picking up a little bit more, actually blowing out to right field. Much different than we're used to. The 1-2 with 2 outs. Swung on and missed. That retires the side in the fourth. The damage is done. The Bells able to push 1 run across, aided by the double from Valdez and the error from Isaiah Walls. An unearned run at that. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 Bells.
What do you have to lose? Second baseman, Aiden Arriaga.
It'll be Aiden Arriaga, Roberto Nunez, and Trent Jackson to start us off in the fourth. Lefties find themselves trailing 1-0 in the rubber match this series and the final game of the season. Will Anderson back out for the fourth. Arriaga shows bunt, pulls back, and takes outside. Third baseman Kirkpatrick was charging. Aiden bounced into a 4-3 double play in the first. That erased one of only 2 base runners for the Lefties so far. The 1-0 is lifted high in the air. Left side of the infield, Riley Parker and Kirkpatrick surround it, and it's going to be Parker, the shortstop, who makes the play.
Up to bat, number 21, your third baseman, Roberto Nunez.
Now it's Roberto Nunez. Tito bounced out to second base, his only at bat. So Tito comes into play today, just 2 hits behind Justin Sukata of the Ridgefield Raptors for the hits leader in the West Coast League. Sukata did not play yesterday. 1-0 the count to Tito. So Nunez needs at least 2 or 3 hits. He hits that one in the air to right. It's not deep. Max Hartman barely has to move as he puts it away.
Up to bat.
So Roberto 0 for 2
Your
today.
Right fielder, Trent Jackson.
Now it'll be Trent Jackson. He struck out his only time up in the second. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Anderson. Tough lefty on lefty matchup for Trent as he takes a fastball right there for a strike. That might have been Trent's pitch to hit. Takes a breaking ball outside. Anderson trying to work his second 1-2-3 inning of the game. And he's ahead of Jackson 1-2. Going with the breaking ball right there. A shakeoff. Here's the 1-2 with 2 outs. That's, pitcher's pitch right there. Called at the knees for a strike. Third strikeout for Anderson. Second time Jackson has gone down. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Bells lead the Lefties 1-0. We'll be right back.
Kirkpatrick.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning, ladies and gentlemen. Nate Kirkpatrick, Garner Christensen, and the leadoff man West will be the hitters. Bells lead the Lefties 1-0. Colby Schuber's first pitch at the knees for a strike. All right, now I'm in. You might be able to see me on the camera. Hey, everybody. Everyone else saying, oh, that's very friendly of you guys. Swung on and missed at a curveball. So I'm sitting in the second row of the crowd. I'm right next to one of our host moms, Dawn. Very happy to give us a little bit of her time. Dawn, you hosted Ethan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did. I hosted Ethan Young.
Ground ball out to shortstop. Walls up with it in time to first. 1 out. It brings up Garner Christensen. How long have you been a host mom for the Lefties?
Just this first season, I had Ethan for just about over 2 months, and he was great to have in the house.
What's your, without getting too personal, obviously, what's your favorite thing that, or favorite little thing that Ethan enjoyed doing whenever he came home or something? It's a little idiosyncrasy, or say.
Oh, with Ethan, I think the interesting thing was how many eggs he would eat in the morning, like 6 to 8. And he loved ground turkey, steak, hamburger. Didn't eat any vegetables at all.
That one's past Arriaga at second base. That should go down as a base hit. So a 1-out base runner for the Bells as they lead 1-0 in the 5th. You know, I also had some fun with Ethan. He missed Wawa terribly. That's a New Jersey staple that we all know, one of those convenience stores. And he missed Chick-fil-A.
It's funny because I was in North Carolina for the very first time, and I had, for the first time, Chick-fil-A, and I took pictures and I sent them to Ethan and his family because that's all they complained about is we didn't have Chick-fil-A here.
So your first time having Chick-fil-A was within the past year?
About not even a month ago for the very first time. And I have to say, it's not quite as good as our Grandview chicken tenders that we have here in Port Angeles.
Dawn, those are some bold words. I feel bad. No Chick-fil-A. Wow, I couldn't imagine. But then again, I guess you don't know until you try it. 1-1 the count to Dean West. He skies that one into the screen, foul. 1-2 the count. Christensen looming at first. So is it safe to say you want to be a host mom next year, potentially?
Yes, I think I will most certainly be a host mom, and I would encourage anybody that has a room, a basement, a spare bathroom maybe, if you can host one of these remarkable young men and help boost their careers and also just give them an opportunity to shine during the summertime, do it.
Number 18.
Well, Dawn,
Parker.
thank you so much for your time. One other thing I should mention about Dawn, you guys, she did quite a bit of recruiting at our church, St. Matthew's Lutheran, to pick up other host families. Just about every summer team, it's a difficult thing to continue to get host families, especially coming out of the pandemic. So, Dawn, it means a lot. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thanks. And I really enjoyed having Evan join us at St. Matthew's as well for our Sunday services.
They have been good to me at St. Matthew's. So 0-1 the count to Riley Parker. West was able to reach on the second error of the afternoon by Isaiah Walls at short. First and second one out as the breaking balls rolled slowly foul. Hook out by the Bells dugout.
Watch out over by the dugout.
Another good reminder from the public address announcer to watch out by the dugout. I'm sure they appreciate that. Much better angle to see all that, too, from outside the press box. Again, sitting in the second row right behind home plate. You're right on top of the action. There's not much room behind home plate. Low 1-2. Schubert trying to roll the double play ball. The Bells have already turned a double play this afternoon. Parker lined out to left his last time up in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. The 1-2 with one out. That curveball stays high. The second baseman, Arriaga, keeping the runner close at second. Long looking from Colby as now he comes set on the far first base side of the rubber. And he deals. On the ground foul again towards the Bells dugout. Somebody tried to make a play on it, not able to do so. Not good luck for guys in the dugout making plays on foul balls. I saw Wes already miss one today. He's standing there ready for another opportunity. The 2-2 from Colby again. On the ground is short. Another chance for Walls. To second for one. Back over the first. In time. 6-4-3 double play to wrap up the fifth inning. Schubert able to work around a couple base runners. He's looking strong through 5, and the Lefties fans are loving it. 1-0 Bells as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Isaiah Walls, Brock Mayer, and Julio Vasquez will be the hitters, everybody. And I have returned up to the booth. First pitch is outside. Will Anderson getting back to work. Cannot thank Dawn enough for giving us a little bit of her time. I did kind of put her, well, she had some idea it was coming, but she didn't know when. Very, very gracious person. And she was the Now, I went to St. Matthew's Lutheran Church for the first time. She was the first person that I was able to introduce myself to. Down low 2-1. Then eventually the topic came up on the Lefties broadcast. She goes, "Oh, I'm hosting Ethan." That was amazing. I had no idea. Outside 3-1. I did not start going there specifically because I knew that we had Lefties host families over there. That's just one of those where I found out later. Lifted high in the air, middle of the infield. Yoshida, the second baseman, in, and it's going to be Riley Parker who makes the play to the shortstop side of second.
Up to bat, number 28, your designated hitter.
With one out, it brings up Brock Mayer. Will Anderson has made things look pretty easy so far against the Lefties. He's only allowed one hit. The other base runner coming on a hit-by pitch to Travis Helm. Once again, a solid group of youngsters playing beyond the right field fence as the breaking ball misses inside. Left on right, the matchup. Good chance as long as it's convenient. I'll try and get out there one more time to the field. Mayer launches that one high in the air to left field. It's deep. Valdez goes back. He leaps at the wall. That ball is gone. Brock Mayer brings this crowd to its feet with a solo home run, and he has tied things up at Civic Field. 1-1 is our score. The first home run of the summer for the incoming freshman to Chaffey College. Brock came close to a big fly. Oh, wow, there's a prize-fighting belt that Nunez is out with. First time that I've seen that. I'm sure they've been doing it. First time I've seen it, though. Mayer came close to a big fly during the previous homestand as Julio Vasquez steps in and takes outside. Ended up hitting one right off the top of the fence and left, along the orange casing that sits right on top of the chain link. Inside 2-0. Brock is a very strong young man. He does put on a show during batting practice. Vasquez rips that one to left center. Valdez is over. That one's back to the wall, and that one is gone. A low-hanging line drive shot of a home run. Boy, I can't believe how much that one jumped. Back-to-back go Brock Mayer and Julio Vasquez. Julio's first home run of the season. The Lefties take a 2-1 lead, just like that. I mean, I knew he smoked that one. I didn't think it was going to get out of the ballpark, though. I mean, the wind has picked up just a little bit out to left, but I don't think any of these really needed the wind's help. That was a shot. Well, Anderson not messing around. He delivers a strike to Helm. He ended up hitting Travis with a breaking ball on a 1-2 pitch. Not coming in his only appearance. Down low. So one out in the fifth inning. The Lefties all of a sudden take a 2-run lead. Mayer and Vasquez going back-to-back with solo home runs. Rolled foul by the Lefties dugout.
Let's go Lefties.
Well, it is the first time we've seen all season the Lefties go back-to-back with home runs. Good chant going in the crowd. Let's go Lefties as the curveball is right down the middle for a called strike 3. The fourth strikeout of the day for Anderson. Now it's Chance Dowdy. He struck out his only time up in the third. So he bats with 2 outs and nobody on in the fifth, and he takes a strike. I promise you guys, I was looking for youngsters in the nearby vicinity when I was down there to let them have an opportunity to say something positive to them. Like, there weren't any down there as Dowdy rips that one foul to left. Behind 0-2. Corey Jarrell waits on deck. Anderson out of the windup, and that curveball is hit high in the air, foul over top of the grandstand. Ooh, it hits off of the grandstands and shoots down to the concourse. Somebody going after it. You know, being out amongst the fans yesterday, Saw Arriaga smoke a foul ball down the left field line. It just nailed a car in the parking lot. Ended up, Griffin, I was able to check it out after the game because it was only 3 cars away from mine. As another foul ball from Dowdy. And so along the front, the driver's side mirror, not the actual mirror, but the casing that surrounds it, just completely, well, there's a big hole in it. A big noticeable hole as that one misses high. I went a long time thinking that my spot, somewhat deep down the left field line, was safe. And just seeing that foul ball, looking like a lot of the other ones, as Dowdy goes down swinging. He loses his elbow pad. Seeing how close that came, safe to say, I made sure Griff and I parked even further at the furthest spot you can get. Somebody would have to hit a home run of a foul ball to get my car today. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Solo home runs from Brock Mayer and Julio Vasquez back-to-back. The Lefties lead the Bells 2-1. So Colby Schuber now back to work in the 6th inning with a 2-1 lead. They'll face the heart of the order, Andrew Valdez, Darrell Ruiz, and Colton Bauer. Valdez doubled and scored in the 4th inning, so he's 1 for 2 today. A dangerous hitter is Andrew. So he swings the first pitch and pops it up into the screen. Julio was off with the mask, but once again, if you're a catcher looking to catch pop-ups, Civic Field is not the place this summer, the way that screen overhangs. Colby out of the windup. That one's on the ground. Fair ball. Diving stop. Nunez at third. Long throw to first. In time. Outstanding play on the dive by one Roberto Garza Nunez the third. Boy, that's top 10 worthy for SportsCenter. Now Darrell Ruiz, 0 for 2. He popped out to second his last time up in the 4th. Good way to retire the Bells' leading hitter in Valdez. Right on left the matchup as Ruiz takes low. Pitcher's duel to this point, just 2 hits for the Bells, 3 for the Lefties. Breaking ball, and that missed somewhere. Not quite sure exactly. I've said that way too many times this series. The 2-0 is ripped in the right field. That's going to be a base hit. Jackson over to cut it off. Oh, he bobbles it at first. Ruiz wasn't really hustling out of the box, though, so he'll stay at first. So now the Lefties and Bells evened up at 3 hits apiece. Colton Bauer, the DH today, will be the hitter. Bauer not in the lineup yesterday. He was the catcher on Friday night. Lined out sharply to left in the 2nd. Reached on an error by Isaiah Walls in the 4th. Ended up leading to the Bells' only run of the game. Shows bunt. It's a go on the third base line. Nunez up with it. Good play to get him at first. And good hustle from Colby and Julio Vasquez to go cover third in case. So Ruiz up to second on what will be a sacrifice bunt. That was a pretty good bunt because it looked like Bauer was definitely going for a hit, but Nunez was good and quick charging it. Very athletic. A guy in Nunez who doesn't necessarily have blazing overall foot speed, but a very good first step, and he moves very well laterally. First pitch breaking ball on the inside corner to Cole Yoshida. A base hit should tie the game. That's what Yoshida's trying to do. It's at 0-1. Over to Nunez again. Another chance for him. He gobbles it up. He's got time to throw out Yoshida. Another good inning from Colby Schuber, aided by some excellent defense from Tito at third, making the play on all 3 outs in the inning. Able to work around the man in scoring position. Bottom of the 6th we go. The Lefties leading 2-1. We're ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order coming up for the Lefties as they lead 2-1. Corey Gerald to get us started. It's a new pitcher for the Bells. Dylan Mittenar will take over. He has not pitched all summer for the Bells, and I have no information on him. I assume it's likely, well, let's put it this way. With the playoffs coming up very shortly, I'm pretty sure they start on Tuesday for Bellingham, as Gerald swings and misses at the first pitch. Bellingham is not going to use any of their main guys, at least not extensively over the course of this final game, which makes sense. So Mittenar probably is not, well, he's not going to be part of the playoff roster. He hasn't played for them all summer. Low 1-1. So let's see, another one of those where I have to describe him. He is significantly shorter and skinnier than Will Anderson. Check swing on a breaking ball, taken low. He has black cleats. He's wearing his pant legs low, and he's left-handed. A deep breath as Gerald hits that one slowly over the first. Gobbled up by Ruiz. He'll take it to the bag himself. Well, so Dylan Mittenar gets a quick out. Now we'll face Aiden Arriaga. Interesting to see from Acker. A couple left-handed batters to start things off, even with 2 left-handed pitchers in the game. Acker's probably going to go with his lineup no matter what, whether it was a right or a left-handed pitcher. Here comes C.J. Lewis trotting in from the bullpen towards the dugout. And he's heading down the stairs. He might have to go grab something from the locker room. Check swing from Arriaga as he takes low. Before our opening ceremony today, CJ took it upon himself to come visit Griff and I in the booth. Thank us for everything this summer. What a gentleman that CJ is. It is a good group of gentlemen, but CJ really stands out. What a great guy. That's on the inside corner, 1-1. Yep, if and when I pass through Illinois or Mississippi, I'll be sure to let CJ know. I'll have to buy him a beer. The 1-1. Lined over the glove, the third baseman Kirkpatrick in the left field. 4th hit of the day for the Lefties, and Arriaga aboard with a single.
Up to bat, number 21, your third baseman.
Now it's Roberto Nunez. He's 0 for 2 today. Well, he needs at least 2 hits if he's going to think about tying Will Sukata of the Raptors. And that's just assuming he doesn't get any hits. Let me check on that. First pitch on the inner half. Let's see. Schedule. There we go. In progress. What can you tell me here, point streak? How's Sukata doing? Nunez takes low, 1-1. The Bells set up to turn 2. There we go. Richfield. Sukata is not in the lineup. So Tito needs 2 hits to tie him. Maybe Jake Sukata went home or something because he didn't play yesterday. Nunez has to go dancing out of the way of that one. 2 hits to tie him, 3 to finish the season as the West Coast League hits leader. He has had a fantastic summer, and that's putting it lightly. And he is a gentleman. There goes Arriaga. Pitch is ripped into center field. West coming on. Oh, he's going to make the grab. Arriaga is going to be doubled off at first pretty easily. One-hop throw from center field. Arriaga went sliding into second, so he must have been stealing that bag all the way. So a line drive double play will wrap things up in the 6th. Dylan Midenar comes out of the bullpen. He faces the minimum.
It's time for our favorite dice roll.
Also, before we go to break, everybody, final line score for Will Anderson. 5 innings in the start, 2 earned runs on the solo home runs he allowed. Just 3 hits, a hit by pitch. He did not walk anyone, and he struck out 5. Overall, a strong outing. He is in line for the loss as it stands right now. We'll take a break going into the top of the 7th. We're really flying along. Schuber getting back to work. The bottom of the order coming up for the Bells as they trail the Lefties 2-1. Schuber coming back out for the 7th inning. Colby has been fantastic so far. Just a single unearned run allowed. He'll face the bottom of the order. Hartman is flown out to center and struck out, and he takes a first pitch changeup for a strike. First pitch strikes galore for Schuber. And he just threw his 75th pitch of the afternoon. He's been efficient, getting ahead, getting quick outs. 1-1. The flagpole still quiet in right. And the 1-1 is on the ground to first, just foul, as it did scoop by the glove of Travis Helm. That was close. Hartman close to getting possible extra bases. Well, there goes the lefty's backup catcher to retrieve the foul ball. I don't know who that is, but there's somebody in a catcher's uniform, and now he's walking out to the bullpen. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Evens the count 2-2. Schuber all ready to go. Now a long look in, and now he deals. That one's hit foul at the plate. Looked like he tried something a little slower. Oh, here comes West to go get the foul ball, and he ended up dropping one out of his back pocket. Now he goes to retrieve it. West has not done this job very often. He needs to learn a thing or two from Cole and CJ. Swung on and missed. Julio will fire it down the first to finish off the strikeout. Now 1 away in the 7th.
Up to bat, number 11, Nate
So Nate Kirkpatrick will dig in. He's 0 for 2 with a couple ground outs. And Kirkpatrick was greeted with some Barbie girl music from the PA system as he takes a strike. I'm sure Nate appreciated that one. Jack's got something up his sleeves, I tell you. That's lifted high in the air to short left. Dowdy was playing deep. He comes sprinting in. Walls is also out, and Chan's able to make the call and the two-handed catch. Quickly, 2 outs in the 7th, and Garner Christensen will bat. He singled his last time up in the 5th, so he's 1 for 2. One of just 3 hits for the Bells. Combined 7 hits across for both teams. Lefties only had 5 hits a night ago in the 8-4 win. On the inside corner. Schubert trying to work his third 1-2-3 inning of the day. And he's ahead 0-2. Well, there's the field umpire. He's going to fix something on the first base bag. He's all done with that. Colby trying to set down Christensen. Here's the 0-2. Just got a piece of it as he nicks it foul. So we'll try it again. Now Colby ready. He'll try it again. Popped up. Middle of the infield, actually drifting out to shallow center. Corey Jarrell has a beat on it, and he makes the catch. Colby Schubert, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run. He'll probably come back out for the 8th inning just based on his pitch count. He has been great. Lefties leading the Bells 2-1 on the last day of the season. We'll come right back. Well, everybody, we have round 2 of our history segment. Sadly, with all the stuff going on yesterday, between the third start at the top of the 3rd inning, I ended up jumping on the PA system to announce a big White Claw race in center field. Okay, the home plate umpires just pointed out to right field. It looks like there's a new right fielder. Well, let's see. He's wearing number 33. Let's see. Where is 33 on point streak?
Up to bat for your Port Angeles Lefties. Number 5, your right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Coleman Schmidt has entered the game to play right in the place of Max Hartman. Glad we saw that. Dylan Midenar back out to work the 7th inning. Facing the minimum in the 6th. One 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch to Jackson. Up high, 2-0. Walls waits on deck. Heart of the order coming up for the Lefties. As that's popped up. Off the end of the bat. The second base Yoshida doesn't see it. Oh, look out. Now he does. Battling the sun, I guess, as he makes a stumbling catch.
Up to bat.
So 1 out in the 7th. Once again, Coleman Schmidt taking over in right field. Now it's Isaiah. He's 0 for 2 today. Well, time is called. We have a meeting on the mound. Here comes Cody Anderson. The entire infield coming into the mound. Yep, here comes somebody from the bullpen. we're going to have a pitching change. Dylan Midenar done after going 1 1/3, facing the minimum amount of hitters. Well, here comes Acker walking across home plate. Walls is following him. It's been a common thing during mound visits or pitching changes. The Acker meets with the hitters and any base runners between third base and home plate. Now they're talking on the first base side. I always wonder what kind of advice Matt gives the hitter. And there's Mayer, the on-deck hitter. He's joining the conversation. We are going to keep it here, you guys. I'll introduce a new pitcher in a second. I got to get to our second history thing because, again, with all the fun stuff going on yesterday, I forgot to do it. I had one ready, too. It was the Dupuis restaurant that I did earlier. Anyway, in 1899, 235,625 acres were set aside for the creation of Mount Rainier National Park. Over 270 miles of maintained trail systems and 147 miles of active roads. Now, granted, I was surprised to see 147 miles of roads. I thought I saw all the main stuff I needed to see when I visited in May. 97% of the park was designated as wilderness. Well, so I guess 97% of the park I can't really go see. It's beautiful there. Even in May, I was able to get towards the top of it. They have a big skiing and sledding area, as well as an inn at the end of this long roadway. I at least entered from the far west entrance. Did 3 different runs. I stayed in this small little inn outside of the park, only about 2 miles outside of the park. How long was I there? 3-4 days, I think? Yeah, 3-4 days. Right before I came up here to start things with the Lefties. Went running 3 different times in the park along the trails. Those were some interesting hills. My legs were hurting something fierce. Granted, they definitely helped prepare me for all the hilly runs I've had in Port Angeles. Hard to find flat land to go running for more than a mile at a time over here. I complain about it, but it is very good training. That timing worked out pretty well. Evan Ott's the new pitcher, the 6'2 right-hander out of Westmont College. And he deals a strike to Isaiah Walls. Walls batting with 1 out, nobody on base in the 7th. The Lefties leading 2-1. Final game of the summer. Up high. It's only Ott's second game. At least second game on the mound. That one's lifted. Foul territory, right side. Christensen off of the mask. It's the first baseman, Darryl Ruiz, who makes the catch. So 2 up, 2 down in the 7th. And now it brings up Brock Mayer. He homered his last time up in the 5th. And that tied the game at 1. Anyway, the only other time Ott pitched this summer for the Bells, it came 4 days ago on the 2nd. 1 inning, no runs, 3 hits allowed against the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Brock shows bunt and takes a curveball high. First time I've seen Brock show bunt all season. Wonder if he did that on his own or if Acker told him to do that. Out of the windup, Ott deals way outside. Good hitter's count for Mayer. He loves the fastball, especially loves it down in the zone, getting his arms extended. The 2-0, up high. Mayer has got to get a green light. I would bet, I bet my paycheck that he'll get the green light. Why not? The 3-0, yeah, if he did get it, he takes a strike. Felt my heart drop a second when I said I'll bet my paycheck. I should not get into the habit of thinking about that. I am only 25. The 3-1. Brock takes outside. So a 2-out walk. Well, now it's Julio. Vasquez went back-to-back with Brock Mayer in the 5th inning, each hitting solo home runs. And that's where we stand. The Lefties leading 2-1. Mayer did steal a base last night. First time we'll see Ott with men aboard. Wonder if Brock can get a good jump here. Give Julio a 2-out opportunity. First pitch is up high. Well, now if you're Julio, you might think about taking a strike because Ott's having a tough time finding it. And, a night after the Lefties had 11 free passes, Bell's pitching has only issued 2 as we stand with 2 outs in the 7th. Vasquez rips that one to the alleyway in right center. It's going to split the gap and go to the wall. Mayer runs well. He's digging in the third. He's going to be waved home. Here's the throw from Yoshida on the fly. Not in time. Mayer took a chance going in, standing up. Just able to beat the tag of Garner Christensen. RBI double, Julio Vasquez. His second hit of the game, second RBI, and the Lefties lead 3-1. An important insurance run late. The whole time I saw Brock going around, I was trying to urge Acker from the press box to wave him home. I'm glad he did. Definitely smart to do it with 2 outs. Now, granted, though, I will say this. Travis Helm needed to be over by home plate to tell Brock whether to slide or not. Because Mayer almost cost himself a run by going in standing up. First pitch, a strike to Helm. Julio is a really strong kid. I know his batting average may not necessarily show his potential prowess, but the ball, he really does make good contact. 1-1 the count. The ball jumps off his bat. Kind of similar to Brock. Well, still an RBI chance for Helm, because Julio has decent speed. A short lead, though, at second. The 1-1 from Ott is right down the middle for strike 2. Helm struck out his last at bat, hit by a pitch in the third. Ott has already allowed 1, and that run is charged to him. Coming in relief for Dylan Midenar. His 1-2 is taken low. The right fielder, Coleman Schmidt, who came in to replace Max Hartman, playing fairly deep. He's actually the deepest of all 3 outfielders, even with the right-handed hitting Travis Helm. There's somebody, a couple guys walking out to the bullpen, actually. Looks like Wes is one of them. Is that Colby going out there, too? That's inside. Wonder if Colby will come back out for the 8th. Another Let's Go Lefties chant emerging. 3-2 the count, 2 outs to Helm. Julio at second as he inches off further. Here is the 3-2. Down low, ball 4. Good at bat, Travis Helm. Only the 3rd free pass of the afternoon. It'll bring up Chance Dowdy with 2 on. And time is called. We're going to have a meeting on the mound for the Bells. Looks like there is somebody throwing. Well, actually, no. That's just somebody taking batting practice in the left field cages. Looks like nobody's up for the Bells. They are going to stick with Ott, the entire infield on the mound, as well as the pitching coach. A chance for Dowdy, who has struck out twice today. Well, the meeting concludes. Acker finishing up his conversation with Dowdy as well. This time they're between third base and home plate. Caught me off guard with the meeting earlier with Walls. Yeah, with Walls over by the Lefties dugout by the first base line. Colby has only thrown 86 pitches, so you wonder if his day is done. Obviously, things a little more limited for summer ball, dealing with pitch and innings limits from the colleges, which is understandable. Dowdy takes a strike. I always loved going after first pitch fastballs in the zone with men on base. The second baseman, Yoshida, keeping Vasquez close. A lot of room on the right side, and the curveball's in there. And you see, that's the thing. Letting the first pitch fastball go by for a strike, and then you get a hook like that. Unless you're looking breaking ball, you can't really do much with it. Dowdy behind 0-2. Tough spot for him. And Ott comes set after a long hold. Fidgeting with the ball in his glove, and he deals. Lifted foul. Several youngsters actually playing on that little hill out there past the right field fence. Of course, a couple nights ago, CJ telling us all about some of the kids in awe watching the lefties warm up and even signing autographs out there. The 0-2 with 2 outs again. Hit slowly foul past Acker in the third base coach's box. So the runners will go back to their spots. Helm at first, Vasquez at second, who brought Brock Mayer home on a double. Dowdy set again. So's Ott. Jan's able to stay alive for now. Another 0-2. Swung on and missed. The tag is applied by the catcher Christian to finish off the strikeout. The lefties able to add an insurance run thanks to Julio Vasquez lining a double to the right center field wall. And here comes Colby. He is coming back out to pitch the 8th inning. Or is he? A short conversation with Acker. Yes, he is coming back out to pitch the 8th inning. We'll be right back. Colby Schubert goes back to work with a 3-1 lead. Top of the order coming up for the Bells in the 8th inning as they trail Port Angeles 3-1. Lefties trying to win this series after taking yesterday's game. Colby Schubert back to work. 1 unearned run allowed, 3 hits, only 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a hit batter. He has been tough all day. Only 86 pitches and 59 strikes to start the 8th. He has a tough customer in Dean West. He's been kept in check today, 0-2, and there's a strike on the inner half. You got to do everything you can to keep West off the bases. He does run like crazy. Foul tip right off of Vasquez. Could hear the oof coming from Julio from up here. But it looks all right, though. I did mention earlier he is strong. So everybody's good to go. 0-2 the count to start the 8th. Schubert gets his sign. Out of the windup he goes. In the dirt. Garrett really liked the pitch. It was a dirty curveball. Garrett also got a kick out of the fact that Colby only has 2 strikeouts. In the dirt again. Now granted, the defense behind him has been awesome. Especially from Roberto Garza Nunez at third. Let me rephrase. Roberto Garza Nunez the third. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball in there for a called strike 3. West is not pleased. And as Garrett just told me, now he has 3 strikeouts.
Number 18, Riley Parker.
An important out. And that brings up Riley Parker. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up in the 5th. 0 for 3 today. Righty on righty matchup, and the first pitch is low, and it squirts past Julio. Now it's Cade Stewart going to get the foul balls. Well, it looked like West did go to the dugout a little bit ago. In the dirt again. Really the first time we've seen Colby kind of fight his command a little bit, not coming the past 2 hitters. Here's the 2-0. Down low again. It doesn't look like there's anyone up in the Lefties bullpen. The 3-0 pitch. And that's taken low. Just the third free pass that Colby's issued. It's a 4-pitch walk to Parker. Time is called. Vasquez going to meet Colby on the mound. That's a smart move. All 4 of those pitches really not close. Well, time is called. Here comes Cody Anderson to talk to the home plate umpire. Oh, I see why. We have a pinch hitter. That's why.
Number 36, Drake Reynolds.
Well, now time is called. Here comes Matt Acker. A hug for Colby, the entire infield there, giving him his dues. That's going to be it for one Colby Schuber. A standing ovation for one Colby Schuber. Fantastic all summer long. A tip of the cap to the strong Lefties crowd. A new pitcher coming in. Colby Schuber leaves 7 1/3 innings. 1 unearned run allowed. Coming on just 3 hits, 2 walks, a hit batter, only 3 strikeouts. Fantastic as he's been all summer long. Colby exits for the final time this summer with the Lefties. Cole Acker in with a man on first, that being Colby's responsibility. We'll be right back. Hard to believe we're in the top of the 8th inning on the final game of the season, the summer in Port Angeles. Cole Acker taking over on the mound. I would wager that he'll try and pick up the 5-out save. Riley Parker's at first. He is Colby Schuber's responsibility, who went the first 7 1/3. Colby is in line for the win. And Acker's on to face a pinch hitter. In his 19th game of the season, over 31 1/3 innings, the incoming freshman to Mount Hood Community College and a graduate of Port Angeles High School. A local star. Reynolds in the pinch hit for Valdez, and he takes a strike. Acker, the 3/4 side-winding right-handed pitcher, standing at a tall 6'2" and a lanky 175 pounds, as that's just inside. Not a hard thrower, not a big strikeout guy. Relies on deception and changing speeds. And he'd love a double play ball. Swing and a miss. Reynolds late at that one. Looked a little surprised at the velocity from Cole. Reynolds hitting 188. Acker set, and he deals way upstairs. Vasquez has to come leaping out of his crouch. Reynolds was the quasi-starter in left each of the past 2 days. Ended up entering, well, the first day after 4 pitches and 3 different subs in left. Then yesterday he only needed 1 to sub in once. Low 3-2. Will Parker take off? He has stolen 4 bases. He does not go. The 3-2 swung on and missed. And Brady Reynolds loses the bat. A slow, painful walk to the backstop to go pick up his piece of lumber. Down on strikes, 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Number 16, Darryl Ruiz.
That brings up Darryl Ruiz. He singled his last time up, 1 for 3 today. Of course, representing the tying run. Acker trying to say no thank you. Ruiz has gone deep once this summer. The first pitch, swung on and missed. At least the first 2 Bells hitters not able to catch up to Acker's fastball. Elevating a couple of them. A bit of a stronger breeze going right to left. You can see it in the tree. On the inside corner. Ruiz up against it. Behind 0-2 to Acker. Cole a chance to pick up back-to-back strikeouts to end the 8th inning. Dowdy moving over into the alleyway in left center. The 0-2. Lifted high in the air on the infield. Walls goes sprinting back. He makes the call, and he makes the catch. Dowdy loses his hat behind him. Walls able to make a nice play over the shoulder. The lefties have been great defensively all day. Cole Acker comes in and gets the final 2 outs of the 8th inning in relief of Colby Schuber. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The lefties still leading 3-1 over the Bells. Ladies and gentlemen, it is starting to get late. Well, relatively late. You know what I mean. It's only 3:18 Pacific time. The bottom of the 8th inning, Corey Gerald, Aiden Arriaga, Roberto Nunez, the hitters. Roberto Garza Nunez III, let me rephrase. I will be generous and say the long name. Evan Ott back to work for his 2nd inning on the mound.
For your lefties, number 34, Corey Gerald.
Interesting, a meeting now between Acker, the home plate umpire, as well as Cody Anderson. I wonder if there are any changes. Doesn't look like any for us. I have not seen the umpire signal a sub in any way. So I guess everything's the same. Well, the fans appreciate the little meeting. They were able to hear Sweet Caroline a bit longer. I love hearing Sweet Caroline. The first pitch is a curveball and a called strike to Gerald. Let's see. I think I have things covered. It did caught up on the history stuff. That's all well and good. The 0-1 from Ott is in the dirt. I think I have things worked out for how I'm going to leave town. I'll probably leave town either the 10th or the 11th, and I know I'll go along 101 along the west side of Olympic National Park as Gerald's behind 1 and 2. Jacob recommended some of the nice small fishing towns along the coast. Of course, I'll stop at the Hoh Rainforest. Then I'll go down to Mount St. Helens. As Gerald swings and misses at a fastball. Second strikeout for Evan Ott coming out of the bullpen. Aiden Arriaga will be the hitter, who singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. And a meeting on the mound. Here comes Cody Anderson. Looks like he singled to the bullpen. Yep, he takes the baseball from Evan Ott. A new pitcher coming in. I will keep it right here. Second consecutive inning that Cody Anderson opts to come out and replace his pitcher with 1 out. I don't know. It's been a funky series with all the subs that they've done, which I understand, having to get the 5-game minimum ahead of the postseason. So anyway, Mount St. Helens, I'll do that. Then, of course, on the 15th, I will arrive in Centralia and help my pig racing boss set up the trailer and the racetrack for the pig races, where I'll be announcing them. I really hope Garrett's able to make it. Garrett's up here with me, and I can guarantee this. If you are there, Garrett, I will pick you to be a volunteer to help us with the show, and you could hang out with the pigs. Garrett is like, heck yes. Garrett's easy to pick out. He does stand a sturdy 6'6". Garrett goes, yeah, I guess I am pretty tall. Now let's see about the new pitcher. That is pretty important too. Lefties lead 3-1. Oh, Eli Knowlton coming in the pitch. Well, I guess, let's see, how many games has he played? Because Eli Knowlton's been part of the left field parade of substitutions the first 2 games. Jack's doing some good work on the music. First time I've heard this song all season. There's Knowlton. Yep, it's his 5th game of the season, so Eli Knowlton, as of now, is playoff eligible. I guess it's a lot of work for Cody Anderson and the Bells front office staff to keep together exactly how many games everybody needs and how to get them in, even if it's just 1 pitch. Knowlton out of Edmonds Community College. His year is not listed. The only other time he's pitched was 1 inning against the Wenatchee Apple Sox coming 4 days ago. Couple walks, no hits, and no runs. So he comes in with 1 out, nobody on, facing Aiden Arriaga. And the first pitch is swung on and lifted short left center field. Dean West comes in, he makes an emphatic call and the catch. 2 outs, it brings up Roberto Garza Nunez. Unfortunately, Nunez lined out sharply into a double play in the 6th inning. So even with Justin Sukata, the man ahead of him in total hits, he didn't play today, unless this game goes to extra innings or if the Bells tied in the 9th. Nunez is going to have to settle for 2nd place in the West Coast League hits leader list as he came in 2 behind Sukata. In the dirt, 1-1. And we would very much prefer if the Lefties are able to close out the Bells in the 9th. We would all prefer that. Knowlton working out of the stretch. Deals outside. I will wager that Cole Acker will come back out for the 9th inning to try and pick up the 5-out save and give Colby Schubert the win. The 2-1. Ripped into left field. Valdez coming in. And he is able to make the diving catch. So that's twice today that Nunez has lined out sharply. He'll have to settle for an 0-for-4 day, barring any theatrics in the 9th inning. Oh, I beg your pardon. I should have known better about this. C.J. Lewis striding into the game for the final time this year at Civic Field. Looking to pick up his 5th save. Lefties leading 3-1. We'll be right back. The aforementioned C.J. Lewis on in the ninth, looking to pick up his 5th save of the summer. Even with the Lefties having a tough time picking up wins over the course of the season, CJ comes in tied for 4th in the league in saves. Largely a middle relief pitcher with his time at Toledo and Jackson State. Emerged as an elite back end of the bullpen guy. And a close game late all year long, you can expect to see CJ for the Lefties. He's facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Colton Bauer, Cole Yoshida, and Max Hartman. Coleman Schmidt will be the third man in place of Max Hartman. CJ, 35 and 2/3 innings, his 24th game all out of the bullpen. 33 strikeouts, only 13 walks. The rising junior at Jackson State University. His first pitch, strike 1 at the knees. Bauer, a sacrifice bunt his last time up in the 6th. He also reached on an error by Walls in the 4th. CJ exclusively out of the stretch. And he deals. Rolled foul. Lewis ahead 0-2. The final game of the season for the Lefties. Last day of the regular season for the West Coast League. Lewis looking to close it out one more time. The 0-2 to Bauer. Way outside. Lewis, the 6'2", 200-pound right-hander. Sets up on the far first base side of the rubber. Also kind of closes his stance off with his front foot. Holds the glove by the belt. The 1-2 in the dirt.
Let's go Lefties.
That last one clocking in at 90 miles per hour. CJ can get it up there to 92. The fans, they love CJ. They can always tell who he is with the water bottle in his back pocket. And the breaking ball ends up clocking Bauer right on the back. Well, I suppose every closer has to make things interesting. That brings the tying run to the plate. Cole Yoshida.
Up to bat, number 2.
Yoshida 0 for 2 with a walk in the 4th. He bounced out to 3rd his last time up. The Lefties are in double play depth. Nunez even with the bag at 3rd. I mean, no chance Yoshida will bunt. First pitch, called strike. Yoshida stepped in the bucket, likely taking all the way. CJ comes set. Lefties looking for an out. Helm is holding the runner at first. Ripped through the middle for a base hit. Stopping at second is Bauer. Well, now the tying runs are on base. Turned into a dangerous inning for Lewis. The Lefties leading 3-1, trying to win this series to close out the season. So Coleman Schmidt will bat for the first time today. Schmidt came in late as a defensive replacement earlier today, hitting .241 overall. He's 2 for 9 in this series with a triple yesterday. Well, the runners go, pitch taken low, and the throw down to 3rd is not in time. A double steal for the Bells.
Let's go Lefties.
They are very aggressive on the bases. No chance for Vasquez to throw anybody out. The 3rd stolen base of the summer for Bauer. Yoshida able to follow the 2nd. Now a base hit will likely tie it. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. The 1-0 to Schmidt. Swing and a miss. The Lefties playing the infield back, gladly conceding a run for a ground ball out. The outfield playing medium deep. Jackson with a strong arm in right. Gerald throws okay from center. Dowdy with the weakest arm of the 3. The 0-2. Fouled straight back.
Let's go Lefties.
Oh, beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen. 1-2 the count. Well, now Gerald moves back a few steps in center field. A long look in from CJ, and now he's ready. The 1-2 pitch. Ripped through the middle. That's going to be a base hit. This could tie the game. Yoshida being waved home. The throw by Gerald is cut off by Helm. Throw to second is in time to get Coleman Schmidt. One away in the ninth. Coleman Schmidt tying the game at 3 in the ninth inning. CJ, rare to see from him, blowing the save. We have a new ball game. No chance for Gerald to try and throw out Bauer or to throw out Yoshida. That double steal really looming large as Nate Kirkpatrick will hit. Bounce towards the middle. Wall stays down. He's up with it in time to first. 2 outs in the ninth in this freshly tied ball game.
Sir, as a sub, Cade Clute came in for Gardner Christensen at the catcher spot.
Garner Christensen will be the batter as Kirkpatrick grounded out to shortstop just a second ago. Christensen is 1 for 3. First pitch fouled straight back. So 0-1 the count. Schmidt coming off the bench, just tying the game at 3. A quiet crowd at Civic now. That's at the knees. Lewis able to work ahead, 0-2. Jackson, Walls, and Mayer are the scheduled hitters in the bottom of the ninth. Lewis now trying to keep the game tied, give the Lefties a chance to win it. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Christensen goes down on 3 pitches, but the damage has been done. Coleman Schmidt, the game-tying 2-run single, plays Colton Bauer and Cole Yoshida. A new ball game going to the bottom of the ninth. The Lefties will look to walk it off for the first time all season. We'll be right back. Eli Knowlton back to work on the mound, facing Trent Jackson in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch taken up high. The Bells were able to tie the game after trailing 3-1 going into the ninth. The Lefties, well, they played 3 extra inning games this season, all at home, and they have not been able to win any of them. Upstairs 2-0. They've had their chances to walk things off. That hasn't happened all summer. They're going to need it to, though, if they're going to take home the win. 3-0 the count to Trent. I assume he'll take all the way. Knowlton working his second inning on the mound after coming in with 1 out in the 8th. Able to set Arriaga and Nunez down in order. The 3-0 pitch, Trent does take all the way and takes a strike.
Let's go, Lefties.
Also a new catcher, Caden Clute, is into the game behind the plate now. In the place of Gardner Christensen. Ripped just foul down the first base line. First base umpire had to do some dancing to get out of the way. The count now 3-2. Jackson, representing the winning run, needs to get on base. The second baseman Yoshida playing him the pull a couple steps into the right field grass. The pitch from Knowlton. Lifted foul into the screen.
Come on, Civic, let's get loud.
Here comes the 3-2 again. Jackson is ready. The pitch from Knowlton. Ripped foul again, right past Evan Bates. Bates looking down at Trent like, come on now. The home plate umpire waiting for some new baseballs. Here comes Cole to give them to him. Knowlton stepped off. The home plate umpire's ready. Jackson will dig back into the box. A tie game at 3 in the bottom of the 9th. The final game of the season. Knowlton comes set. Here's the pitch out of the stretch. Inside ball 4. The winning run is aboard. That brings up Isaiah Walls.
Number 26,
He's had an okay series. Walls is 0 for 3 today. Scorching hot at one point this summer. The incoming freshman out of Concordia Irvine University. Second baseman Yoshida playing shallow. Walls shows bunt. It goes off the glove of Clute. Up to second goes Jackson. A break for the Lefties. That's going to be a wild pitch. That was way up and in. I mean, I'm sure Walls will still bunt. The first baseman Ruiz playing way in at the grass. Kirkpatrick right at the lip of the grass at third. Here's the 1-0. Walls swings. That's through the hole on the left side. Into left field. Acker's going to hold Jackson at third as the ball barely got 5 feet into the left field grass. A cue shot of a single off the bat of Walls, who swung away with the infield drawn in looking for the bunt. First and third, nobody out.
Let's give him some noise. Brock.
And it brings up Brock Mayer. He started the summer as just a pitcher. As we got towards the halfway point, started to show his prowess more as a hitter, really displaying his two-way ability. Acker and Carlos Ramirez over the course of the season, well, Mayer's made it virtually impossible for them to take him out of the lineup. A chance to win it. Jackson at third, Walls at first, nobody out. The Bells infield all the way in. The first pitch is up high. Now you wonder if Walls will take second. His run doesn't, no, probably not. His run doesn't matter. Maybe with one out, if we get to one out, he might take second. Well, there goes Walls anyway. The pitch taken outside. A couple seconds before the pitch was thrown, our scoreboard operator is laughing his rear end off. Walls just started trotting to second. Well, defensive indifference for him. Second and third now. Walls' run doesn't matter. Eliminates a force. Mayer takes outside.
Let's go, Lefties.
Brock, I will think, will get a green light. Infield in. Jackson represents the winning run. Trying to give C.J. Lewis the win on the mound, even after blowing the save. And the Bells are going to walk Mayer intentionally. No need to throw a fourth pitch, just putting him on.
Door catcher, Julio Vasquez.
Well, this is interesting. The base is loaded for Julio Vasquez. I'm a little surprised at this decision. Vasquez has had a really good day. Solo home run in the 5th, an RBI double in the 7th, and you have nowhere to put him. Even with a 3-0 count, I still would have taken my chances with Brock. Well, I guess pick your poison. Both guys have homered. The first pitch, lifted foul out of play to the right side. So, of course, the infield all the way in. They have to go for the force at the plate. The outfielders, of course, having to play shallow. Frankly, Dean West in center is not playing all that shallow. Breaking ball, strike 2. I remember growing up seeing certain Major League Baseball games, situations like this, sometimes you see one of the outfielders come and play the infield. The Bells not doing that. The second baseman, Yoshida, way in on the grass. The 0-2. Good play by the catcher, Klute, in the dirt. Travis Helm waits on deck. Jackson has good speed. The ballpark is silent. The 1-2 pitch coming in from Knowlton. Swing and a miss. Vasquez goes after a high fastball. 1 out in the 9th, and it brings up Travis Helm.
Number 40, your first baseman, Travis.
The Bells are going to keep the infield all the way in, even with the double play opportunity. Outfielders at about the same spot. Playing shallow in a position to possibly throw Jackson out the plate on a fly ball. First pitch to Helm is upstairs. Chance Dowdy waits on deck. The entire Lefties team out in front of the dugout. Ripped into left field. Jackson, a mistake from Jackson. Unbelievable. He's not going to be able to tag. For some inexplicable reason, Trent Jackson broke on the line drive into left field, so he had no chance to even try and tag. Travis Helm hit it hard. Valdez, who was playing shallow, was in position to make the catch, even into the alleyway. I'm not sure if Acker, well, I have a feeling he was going to send Jackson based on his reaction. It would have been a close play at the plate because the throw from Valdez was way up the line at third. Still might have been enough time, though, to come back and tag Trent. That's a major mistake. I never really get on the guy, especially not one of our guys, but that's just, you can't do that. That's an automatic one where you go back, where you just freeze and go back to the base immediately when you're on third. So after a brief meeting between Dowdy and Acker, Chans will dig in. 2 outs now. Base is still loaded. The Bells can move the infield all the way back. The Lefties had the bases loaded with nobody out. Vasquez struck out. Helm lined out to left. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. Dowdy has struck out 3 times today. And he's been coming up empty on fastballs. The 0-1. Dowdy way out in front of a breaking ball. Not seeing the ball well right now. Can he at least put something in play? Here's the 0-2 pitch from Knowlton, trying to escape a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Dowdy swings and misses at a high fastball. For the 4th time this season at home, the Lefties are going to play extra innings. Knotted up at 3, going to the 10th. The Lefties leave the bases loaded with nobody out. Well, at points, it has been that kind of season, I hate to say it. As much of a blast it's been, especially with all of you guys. Top of the 10th inning we go. It's the top of the order coming up for the Bells. C.J. Lewis back out to work the 10th inning after blowing the save in the 9th. Lefties had the bases loaded, nobody out, 2 strikeouts, and a mistake from Trent Jackson, breaking on a line drive from third in a position where he was unable to tag up. West takes a strike on the outside corner, and he's not a fan of it. Really hasn't been happy with the strikes on all day. And again, this is the lefties' 4th extra inning game, and they're 0-3. Solely on the ground to the right side. Arriaga shaded towards the middle. Up with it from the outfield grass. Not in time at first. Just hit too slowly and way too much speed from West. And that's a dangerous man to have on base. It's only the 6th hit of the afternoon for the Bells. And it brings up Riley Parker. Parker is 0 for 3. He walked his last time in the 8th, and West draws a throw. Parker did show bunt. It makes sense. You also want to make sure that West doesn't swipe second before the bunt. Nunez way in on the grass already. Parker shows bunt. Oh, West is picked off. Oh, they call him safe at first. They had West leaning towards second, and he barely got his hand back. No argument from the lefties' dugout. That was bang-bang at first. A shorter lead from West. He inches off further. The first pitch. There he goes. Throw down to second base. Oh, they got him. Oh, this is a call at second base. West tries to swipe second anyway after almost getting picked off. Vasquez guns him down. The lefties defensively, fantastic all day long. And the pitch was called a ball, so 1-0 the count to Parker. 1 out, nobody on for the Bells in the 10th. Swing and a miss. It doesn't look like anyone's up in the lefties' bullpen. Wonder if Knowlton will come back out for the 10th for Bellingham. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Looked like a slider from CJ. A hard slider, too. Ahead 1-2 as Lewis comes set. And he deals. Right off the mask of Vasquez on a foul ball. Julio has had to work hard back there.
Once again, Lefties fans, just a reminder, you can run the fields after the game's over.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Up high. West started the inning with an infield single, nearly got picked off, and then caught stealing. Now it's a 2-2 count to Parker. Swing and a miss. 2 outs in the 10th. It brings up Brady Reynolds. Reynolds struck out his only time up in the 8th inning. Came on to replace Andrew Valdez in the field. Lewis looking to set down the Bells. 1-2-3 in the 10th. Strike one. And the lefties will have the top of the order coming up in the 10th. Nunez playing even with the bag at third. Almost no breeze to speak of as that one's in the dirt. So the Bells started the scoring with an Andrew Valdez double in the 4th. He came around to score in an error from Isaiah Walls. Back-to-back home runs from Brock Mayer and Julio Vasquez gave the lefties a 2-1 lead. As that one's fouled off the leg of Reynolds, who's behind 1-2. Lefties added another run in the 7th on a Julio Vasquez double. They gave him a 3-1 lead. Then a 2-run single from Coleman Schmidt, who also came off the bench, tied the game in the 9th. Lefties left the bases loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. And here we are, the 1-2 inside. And the final game of the season for the lefties, last day of the regular season for the West Coast League. Bell's trying to fine-tune one last time ahead of the playoffs. Check swing, did he go? They do not appeal the call to first. Well, now they do late. The umpire says no swing down there. It didn't look like he swung, but it's worth appealing. Arriaga started running off the field. Now 3-2 the count. You definitely don't want to put Reynolds on. Here is the pitch from CJ. On the inside corner, a called strike 3. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Wow. I swear the umpire punched him out, and then he just said ball 4. I heard it. I saw the motion start and everything. The home plate umpire punched out Brady Reynolds, then elected to award him first base on the walk. That was bad. That pitch was right there, too, and it's been a strike all day. That was bad. That was a bad miss. So the go-ahead run aboard, it's Daryl Ruiz. Outside. And again, I am extremely pro-umpire. I never get on umpires' cases. That was a bad miss, though. A really bad one. Here's the 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike. I mean, the entire Lefties infield started walking off. The fans started cheering. That was the loudest I've heard the Civic Field crowd boo anybody all season. Check on the runner, not in time. Reynolds goes back in diving. Now the crowd is very quiet. Reynolds has stolen 4 bases. CJ set the 1-1. That could be trouble. That's ripped into right center field. It's going to split the alleyway. It's going to go to the wall. Gerald and Jackson over to get it. Jackson picks up. He fires into second base and misses the cutoff man, and a run is going to score. The throw really tailed over towards second base. RBI double for Brady Reynolds, and that gives the Bells a 4-3 lead. Well, good clutch hitting from Ruiz, and that missed strike 3 call really looming large. It only took one hitter. Another mistake from Jackson, too. I don't know why he fired that ball into second base. Because if he hit the cutoff man Arriaga, they might have had to play at the plate. So Colton Bauer, the hitter. Ruiz at second. And that's called low.
Let's go Lefties.
A longer look in from Lewis. Now he's ready. Short lead at second from Ruiz. And that's just inside. And it was a strike according to the track man. This is a bad inning for the umpire. Lewis set with a 2-0. Well, at this point, if you're CJ, you got to take a deep breath and limit it to 1. Upstairs 3-0. Cole Yoshida waits on deck with first base open. Wonder if Bauer will get a take sign. Here's the 3-0. He does take all the way. He takes a strike. That was the exact same pitch that was called ball 3. Second baseman Arriaga pinched towards second to keep Ruiz close. The 3-1 pitch. That's at the knees. Bauer started walking to first. Now, granted, that was a similar pitch that was called ball 1. Lewis trying to set down the side in the 10th inning. A run has already scored on the Daryl Ruiz double, plating Brady Reynolds, who the entire ballpark thought Lewis had struck out. The 3-2 pitch, just barely getting a piece of it, is Bauer. Lewis with a new baseball. Dowdy playing very deep in left. Frankly, with the right-handed batters, he's been deep like that all day. And it's paid off. He's made some good plays out there. A very long look in from CJ, and now he comes set. The 3-2 with 2 outs. Lifted foul. Still a good crowd of kids playing beyond the right field fence. Ooh, they have some of those bigger plastic wiffle ball bats, and now they're hitting each other with them and running around. Oh, that's good to see. A couple other ones playing soccer on the hill. Flags at full tilt blowing out to left. And the 3-2 again misses inside. The fans wanted it. That one did actually miss inside, though. Puts men on first and second with 2 outs. The Bells have taken a 4-3 lead. Time is called. Here comes Matt Acker. The entire infield coming in. Yep, I see somebody coming out of the bullpen. We are going to have a pitching change at Civic Field. CJ leaves for the final time this season. I'm sure he's going to get a very nice round of applause. He absolutely deserves one. He did blow the save today. He is in line for the loss. He's been a rock all season. And this summer's been really good for him, especially finding himself as a back end of the bullpen guy. New pitcher for the Lefties with the Bells leading 4-3, 2-1 in the top of the 10th. We'll be right back. So first and second, 2 outs. Brock Mayer, the new pitcher. Mayer on in relief of C.J. Lewis, who is in line for the loss. The base runners are his responsibility. Colton Bauer at first, Darryl Ruiz at second, who doubled home Brady Reynolds. So the Lefties will now go without the designated hitter as Brock moves from over there. Mayer, his 17th game of the summer on the mound, 31 in the third inning, 33 strikeouts, 13 walks, a 5.17 ERA for the two-way guy. Trying to get the final out in the 10th, and the Lefties will need a run to tie it and 2 to win. Yoshida singled and scored his last time in the 9th. Flag's really going crazy now in right, as that's up high. Ball 1. Mayer, of course, working out of the stretch. Coleman Schmidt waits on deck. The Lefties did lead 3-1. CG allowed 2 runs in the 9th and 1 more in the 10th. Swamp check swing fouled out of play.
There's a foul ball for you, kids.
The crowd at Civic Field virtually dead silent. The mood drastically changed. Now, granted, it looked like CJ was going to have a 1-2-3 inning. He had Brady Reynolds struck out. The home plate umpire even punched him out and everything, but then awarded him first base on the walk. Then not 2 pitches later, came around to score on the double from Ruiz. So 1-2 the count. Mayer along looking. And now he's ready. Trying to end the 10th inning. One look at the runner and he deals. That one's fouled right by the lefty dugout. Good play by Wes Penninger on the ricochet. Wes, a tip of the cap right there too. With the shades on, barely moved to make that play. The count's still 1-2 to Yoshida. But Mayer just entering the game on the mound. Wiggling the ball in his glove a little, and now he deals. That curveball stays upstairs. Coleman Schmidt waits on deck. Again, the final day of the season in the West Coast League. Mayer gets his sign. He's ready to go again. A good at bat from Yoshida. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Mayer able to retire the only hitter he needs to face. The Bells take the lead. First Reynolds reached on the walk. And then Daryl Ruiz with a double to the wall in right center to bring him around. The Lefties trailing by 1 going to the last of the 10th. Evan Ott goes back to the mound to try and finish the game off for the Bells. Top of the order for the Lefties. A slight correction. Eli Knowlton back to work on the mound, who came into the game with 1 out in the 8th inning. He's been good for Bellingham. Gerald is 1 for 4 as he takes low. Lefties trailing 4-3. The Bells scored twice in the 9th to tie it, and then one more time in the 10th to take the lead. The 1-0 out of the stretch. And Gerald out in front.
Let's go, Lefties.
The Lefties need a base runner, because you have Arriaga on deck, who is a very good bunter. The 1-1. Curveball inside. Lefties had the bases loaded with nobody out in the 9th. Julio Vasquez struck out. Then Travis Helm lined out to left field, but Trent Jackson broke early from third and wasn't able to tag. 3-1 the count as that's outside. And Acker was definitely going to send him. It was a shallow hit line drive, and the thing is, Jackson runs pretty well. The throw was so far up the line that Trent still might have been safe. Ball 4. The tying run aboard as Gerald draws a walk.
Up to bat, number 6.
Now it's Aiden Arriaga. Well, now you wonder, is Acker going to play for the tie or try and play to win the game? Saw him issuing some signs. Arriaga bunts very well. And Gerald's a good overall athlete. Obviously, you'd be taking a huge chance with trying to have him steal second. He has stolen twice. A short lead, though. The Bells anticipating a bunt, and the throw over. Gerald dives back safely. Really not far off the bag. Yeah, the wind has really picked up. Now the branches on that tree in right center going nuts. The first pitch from Knowlton. Arriaga takes outside. He did not square. Well, the middle infielders move back a couple steps for Bellingham. Kirkpatrick at third, now even with the bag. And Ruiz holding Gerald at first. The 1-0. Arriaga takes outside, once again does not square. And you have Nunez waiting on deck. Oh, the crowd will go nuts if Arriaga is able to reach. The Bells now look to turn two. The 2-0 pitch, Arriaga takes high. He will likely take all the way. Gerald at first. He is the tying run. Outfield not playing deep. The deepest man is Coleman Schmidt in right. As time is called to the plate, looked like Arriaga's got some dirt in his eyes. That can happen on a windy day, especially the dirt getting dried out. One time as a 12-year-old, I had to call time because I got too much sweat in my eyes at second base. The umpire's like, why'd you call time? And I was too embarrassed to tell him why. The 3-0 pitch. On the outside corner for a strike, Arriaga was taking all the way. At this point, trying to work his way on base. Knowlton is set. He's already worked out of one jam. The 3-1. In the air to right field. It's pretty well hit. Schmidt going back on it. He has a read, and he makes the play. That carried a lot better than I thought it would.
Up to bat, number 21, your third base.
With one away, it brings up Roberto Garza Nunez. He's 0 for 4 today. He came into today trailing Justin Sucata of the Raptors by 2 on the hits leaderboard. Now he represents the winning run, and he takes a breaking ball outside. One and 0 the count. Tito stepped out for a second. Now he's re-engaged. Gerald's inching off of first. Back towards the middle. It's deflected by Knowlton. He has one play, and he takes the out at first. Up to second goes Gerald. That's a bit of a break right there for the lefties. If Knowlton gloved that cleanly, there's a good chance that's a double play. 1-3 on that putout. Trent Jackson a chance to redeem himself. He walked his last time up. 0 for 3 today. A base running mistake and a mistake in the outfield. He represents the winning run. A base hit will likely tie it. First pitch he takes outside. The lefties down to their final out of the game, final out of the season. Outfield playing deep all the way around. West and center is the most shallow. A lot of room in right center. Way inside, nearly got a piece of Jackson. Two 2-0 the count. A little bit of rosin bag for Knowlton. Good hitters count for Trent. The 2-0. Way inside. 3-0 the count.
Let's go, Lefties.
What will Acker do? Will he give Trent the green light? Isaiah Walls waits on deck. Gerald, a short lead still from second. That's inside. The winning run is aboard for the lefties. The second walk of the inning issued by Eli Knowlton.
Let's make some noise for number 26.
As time is called, we're going to have a meeting on the mound. Here comes the pitching coach. And it's become all too familiar. Well, actually, Acker's only going to meet with Walls. The base runners are going to stay where they're at. Gerald at second, Jackson at first. And the Bells are going to stick with Knowlton. He's trying to finish this game off for the Bells. They're coming in with one out in the eighth. Walls made his debut at the Lefties July 11th. The series in Victoria. I mentioned way back when, utilize every form of transportation you can think of in order to get there. Driving, by plane, by ferry, walking. He swung at the first pitch and made a hard out. Well, now he represents he has a chance to tie or even win the game for the Lefties. He singled his last time up. First pitch curveball, called a strike. He's 1 for 4 today. Wall's a very talented young player. Gerald has a very short lead though off of second as that curveball's down and away. I mean, he needs to get off a little further than that. Even Acker's signaling to him, hey, get more. The outfield, very shallow. The 1-1. That's hit high in the air on the infield. Cole Yoshida backs in the outfield grass. He stumbles. He's able to make the grab. That retires the side and ends the ball game. The Lefties fall in extra innings by a score 4-3 to the Bellingham Bells. The Bells able to tie with 2 runs in the 9th, able to put 1 more on the board in the 10th. The Lefties had the tying and winning runs on base in both the 9th and the 10th innings, not able to push it through. That retires the side. That's the end of the season for the Port Angeles Lefties, the end of the West Coast League regular season. Now, everybody, I have to say it has been a blast. Calling the game for all of you guys, getting to meet so many of you guys, families, host families, in person, all the positive words from you guys. It really has meant a lot. It's a tremendous reminder of seeing the actual people that I'm calling the game to. A big thank you to all the players. I can't say enough. Truly a class act group of guys, gentlemen all the way around. I mean, it made it very easy, me interviewing so many of them on the air over the course of the season. A big thank you to Matt Acker, Jacob Thrush, Bree Schaefer for bringing me in, Griff McClellan's my live stream director. Once again, Silas Cruz, Evan Boyd, assisting me throughout the year on the technical side of things. And especially Silas, able to get the other on-field mic setup that I've used the past 2 days. That's probably going to be a good thing for next year. 4-3 Bells beat the Lefties in extra innings today. The season is all over for Port Angeles. And again, if anybody lives in Centralia, come on out for the fair next week. I'll be out there announcing the pig races. Then Ben in Franklin County the week after that. And then I'll be at Bishop's Pumpkin Farm through September and October, 30 miles north of Sacramento, announcing the pig races. Everybody, thank you once again. It's been a pleasure and a privilege spending the summer on the Olympic Peninsula. So long for the rest of the season. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.